The small ship flew through space without lights. Inside, 5 men prepared their gear. They wore black suits that Sumai had made from stolen alien technology. The suits would hide their body heat and help them breathe in space for short periods. "Remember the plan," said Kim Tae-ho as he checked his weapons. "We get in, we find their main computer, we get out. No fighting unless we have to." Park Ji-ho grinned as he loaded his gun. "Sounds like our old missions. Except we're boarding an alien ship, not a terrorist camp," said Lee Sung. Their ship approached the massive Council command vessel. It was the size of a small city, with hundreds of lights glowing along its hull. Next to it, their ship looked like a fly next to an elephant. "Suma's stealth system is working," said Choi Han, watching the sensors. "They don't see us." Kang Min finished checking his medical pack. As always, he was prepared to heal injuries or cause them, whatever the mission required. "Docking in 30 seconds, said Kim. "Everyone ready?" They nodded. They had trained for this moment for 6 months. They had studied alien ship designs. They had practiced in zero gravity. They were as ready as humans could be. Their ship attached to the Council vessel with a soft thud. Using tools Sumai had designed, they cut through the outer hull. They entered the alien ship one by one, their boots sticking to the metal floor using magnetic technology. Inside, the hallways were huge, designed for beings much larger than humans. Blue lights glowed along the walls. Strange smells filled the air. "Stay low," whispered Kim. "Their security sensors are higher up, designed for tall aliens." They moved like shadows through the ship. Twice they had to hide as Council guards walked past. The aliens were tall, with 4 arms and skin that looked like polished metal. They carried weapons that could turn a human to ash in seconds. Using maps Sumai had created from stolen data, they found their way to the central computer room. It was empty except for floating screens and strange machines. "Choi, you're up," said Kim. Choi Han stepped forward. He had been the team's intelligence expert, skilled at hacking enemy systems. For months, he had studied the alien language and technology. "Cover me," he said, sitting at the computer. "This will take time." The others formed a protective circle around him, weapons ready. Choi connected a small device Sumai had built to the alien computer. Lights flashed as it began copying data. "How long?" asked Kim. 10 minutes, said Choi, his fingers moving quickly over the alien controls. Lee Sung, who was watching the door, suddenly held up his hand. "Someone's coming." They heard heavy footsteps approaching. Without a word, they took positions around the room, hiding behind equipment. Years of working together had made words unnecessary. The door opened. A council officer entered, taller than the guards they had seen. He walked to the computer and noticed the device Choi had attached. He reached for an alarm button on the wall. Park Ji-ho moved first. Silent and fast, he jumped from behind a machine. His hand covered the alien's mouth while his other hand pressed a knife to its throat. "Make a sound, and you die," he said, knowing the alien wouldn't understand his words but would understand the knife. The alien froze. Its 4 eyes widened in surprise. Kim stepped forward. "Tie him up." "Choi, how much longer?" "Almost done," said Choi. "I'm getting everything. Their battle plans, ship locations, and..." He paused, his face serious. "Kim, they're planning to start human relocations tomorrow. Millions of people." Kim's jaw tightened. "Then we have no time to lose. Finish the download. When we get back to base, we'll plan our next move." He looked at the captured alien, who was watching them with confusion and fear. For the first time, the mighty Galactic Council was seeing what humans could really do. "They think we're primitives," said Kim. "Let's show them how wrong they are." 6 months passed. Earth's governments bowed to the Galactic Council's demands. Alien ships filled the skies. Council officials walked through major cities like they owned them. In their secret moon base, Kim Tae-ho and his team watched it all happen. They had named their base Phoenix because, like the bird of legend, they planned to rise from the ashes of Earth's freedom. The mining operations have doubled this month, said Choi Han, looking at satellite images. They're taking more than just metals now. They're draining our oceans of something. Kim nodded. He had lost weight in the past months. All of them had. They worked day and night, learning about alien technology, studying council ships, and planning. Su-me, what have you found? Kim asked. Dr. Yum Su-mai looked up from her computer. She had turned a small moon cave into her lab. I've decoded more of their language. The council isn't just one alien race. It's 12 different species working together. And humans are not the first world they've taken over. Anything we can use against them? Asked Park Jae-ho, who was cleaning a rifle he had modified with parts from a crashed alien scout ship. Yes, said Su-mai with a small smile. Their main ships have a weak point in their engine cooling systems. Lee Sung, who had been quiet, finally spoke. But we need to know why they're really here. They could mine asteroids more easily than Earth. Why go to all this trouble? A loud alarm suddenly filled the base. Kang Min rushed to the communication station. Emergency broadcast from Earth, he said, turning on the main screen. The screen showed chaos. In cities around the world, large new council ships had landed. These were different, bigger, with heavy weapons on their sides. A human news reporter spoke quickly. The Galactic Council has announced a new stage in their Earth development plan. They say Earth's population is too large for effective resource management. Starting today, humans will be relocated to... The broadcast cut off. Then Ambassador Dex's face appeared. People of Earth, he said calmly, your planet has valuable resources needed by the greater galactic community. To optimize extraction, we will be relocating 75% of the human population to work colonies on other worlds. This is a great opportunity for your species to serve the Council. Kim's fists tightened. This was their plan all along. The ambassador continued. Some primitive resistance groups have formed. They will be dealt with easily. Your weapons and technology are no match for Council forces. The screen changed to show a meeting room. Earth military leaders stood before a tall council general. The alien was twice as tall as the humans, with 4 arms and skin like metal. You say some humans will resist? The council general asked, his voice deep and mocking. Yes, General Vrock, said an Earth admiral. Some of our best soldiers have gone missing. We believe they plan to fight back. General Vrock laughed, a harsh sound like metal grinding. Let them try. What can your tiny army do against us? Your most elite warriors are nothing more than primitives playing at war. One council battle cruiser could destroy your entire force. The transmission ended. The moon base was silent. Then Park Ji-ho stood up. He called us primitives. He called us a tiny army, added Lee Sung. He hasn't met Navy SEALs before, said Choi Han with a rare smile. Kim looked at his team. These were the best soldiers Earth had ever produced. Men who could adapt to any situation, fight against any odds, and never, ever give up. Su-me, he said, turning to his ex-wife. Is that stealth system you were working on ready? She nodded. It's ready. It can hide a small ship from their sensors. Kim's face hardened with determination. Good. Because tonight, we're going to introduce ourselves to the Galactic Council, and they're going to learn that sometimes the smallest armies are the most dangerous. News of the Mars attack spread quickly. The Galactic Council tried to hide it, but their workers talked. Stories about humans fighting back reached every corner of the solar system. 1 month after destroying the mining base, Kim Taho sat in the Phoenix base, looking at their alien prisoner. They had named him Tark. Over the weeks, Tark had begun to speak with them, first out of fear, then out of curiosity. Why do you keep me alive? Tark asked. Council protocol says prisoners should expect death. Humans are different, said Kim. We don't kill prisoners. We learn from them. Tark's 4 eyes blinked. You are strange creatures, small but dangerous. The council leaders are very angry about Mars. Choi Han entered the room. Kim, you need to see this. On the main screen, they watched a transmission that Choi had intercepted. It showed a council war meeting. General Vrock was shouting at his officers. How could primitives destroy our best mining operation? Find them. Kill them. Another alien spoke. General, we have reports that the Moran workers are acting strangely. Some have disappeared. Kim turned to Tark. The Moran. You said they were forced to work for the council. Tark nodded his large head. My people conquered their world 50 years ago. They are good workers, but not fighters. Maybe they just needed someone to show them how, said Kim thoughtfully. That night, the team prepared for another mission. This time, their target was a small moon of Jupiter, where the council kept the Moran workers who weren't on duty. This is risky, warned Lee Sung as they boarded their ship. We know nothing about these aliens. We know they're slaves, like humans will be if we don't stop the council, said Kim. Their ship landed on the dark side of the moon. Unlike Mars, this place had no council bases, only simple buildings where thousands of Moran lived. When the team stepped outside, they were surprised to find a group of Moran waiting for them. The aliens were shorter than humans, with 6 legs and green skin that glowed slightly in the dark. We knew you would come, said one Moran, using the simple translator. Word has spread about the Mars fighters. Kim stepped forward. I am Kim Tahoe. We want to talk to your leaders. The Moran took them to an underground chamber. More Moran waited there, including one larger than the others. This one had scars on its green skin and was missing one of its 6 legs. I am Commander Rai, the large Moran said. For 50 years, my people have served the council. For 50 years, we have waited for a chance to be free. We're fighting the council, said Kim. We could help each other. Rai studied Kim with large black eyes. You are small creatures. Your technology is simple, yet you destroyed the Mars base. How? We are Navy SEALs, said Park Jae-ho. Special warriors from Earth. We don't need the best technology. We just need to be smarter, faster, and more determined than our enemy. The council believes only advanced technology brings victory, said Rai. They cannot understand your ways. That's their weakness, said Kim. They underestimate us because our ships are smaller and our weapons are simpler. But wars aren't won by technology alone. They're won by the fighters who never give up. Rai moved closer, towering over Kim. My people are not warriors. We are builders, miners, workers. So were many humans before the council came, said Kim. Now we must all learn to fight. For a long moment, Rai was silent. Then he extended one of his 4 arms. The Moran will join you. We will share our knowledge of council ships and bases. You will teach us how to fight like Earth warriors. Kim shook Rai's arm. Together, we can show the council that they chose the wrong species to bully. As they left the chamber, Kang Min spoke quietly to Kim. Do you think we can really train them to fight? Kim looked back at the Moran, who were already gathering tools and materials to build weapons. We taught farmers and office workers to be soldiers on Earth. We can teach the Moran too. For the first time since the council arrived, Kim felt real hope. The tiny army was growing. The bright light filled the sky over every major city on Earth. It was not the sun. It was not the moon. It was something new. Kim Tahoe stood on the roof of the United Nations building in New York, watching the massive ship hover above the city. His face showed no fear, only focus. 20 years as a Navy SEAL had taught him to stay calm when others panicked. Commander Kim, they're asking for you inside, said a young aide, her voice shaking. Kim nodded and took one last look at the alien ship. It was smooth, silver, and bigger than any aircraft carrier Earth had ever built. He had fought in every kind of battle on Earth. But this was different. This was something no SEAL training had prepared him for. Inside the emergency meeting room, World leaders argued loudly. On the main screen was an alien face, tall, thin, with skin that looked like polished stone and eyes too large for its head. "I am Ambassador Dex of the Galactic Council," the alien said in perfect English. "We have watched your planet for many years. You are now invited to join our alliance as a protected world." The room went quiet. "What does protected mean exactly?" asked the Secretary General. The alien's mouth curved in what might have been a smile. "It means we will share some basic technology with you. We will include Earth in our trade routes. We will defend you from threats you cannot imagine." Kim crossed his arms. He didn't like the way the alien said basic technology, or threats you cannot imagine. It reminded him of how colonial powers once spoke to native peoples before taking their land. "And what do you want in return?" Kim asked, stepping forward. The alien's eyes fixed on him. "Only your loyalty and cooperation, and access to certain natural resources your planet has in abundance." The President of the United States stood up. "We need time to discuss this offer." "Of course," said Ambassador Dex. "You have 48 of your Earth hours to decide. We await your answer." The screen went dark. As the leaders began to argue again, Kim slipped out of the room. He walked down the hall to a secure communications station and made a call. "Park Ji-ho, it's Kim. How fast can you get to New York?" "For you, Commander. 12 hours. What's going on?" "Something big. I need the whole team. You, Lee Sung, Choi Han, and Kang Min. The old SEAL team. We haven't all been together since Afghanistan." "I know, but I think Earth needs us again." When Kim hung up, he found Dr. Yoon Soo-mi standing behind him. She was the world's top expert on advanced technology, and his ex-wife. "I heard your call," she said. "You don't trust them." Kim shook his head. "In my experience, when someone much stronger than you offers protection, it usually means they want something valuable. And they'll take it, whether you agree or not." Sumai stepped closer. "The world leaders want to accept the Council's offer. They're scared and excited about alien technology. That's why I called my team," Kim said, looking out the window at the massive ship. "If I'm wrong, great. But if I'm right, Earth will need people who know how to fight against impossible odds." "Like Navy SEALs," Sumai said with a small smile. Kim nodded. "Like Navy SEALs." That night, as government officials prepared to welcome Earth to the galactic community, 5 former Special Forces operators began to prepare for war. They didn't know yet what they were fighting, but they knew one thing for certain: humanity would not surrender easily, no matter how advanced the enemy. The Galactic Council had no idea what kind of humans they were dealing with. They would learn soon enough. 3 days after the aliens arrived, Kim Tae-ho watched his old team walk into the secret bunker beneath New York. Park Ji-ho came first, carrying a large bag full of weapons. He was short but strong, with quick eyes that missed nothing. Next came Lee Sung, tall and thin, the best tactical mind Kim had ever known. Choi Han entered quietly, his glasses hiding sharp eyes that had once tracked enemy movements across 12 countries. Last came Kang Min, the team's medical expert, who could save a life or take one with equal skill. "Good to see you all," said Kim, standing up to shake their hands. "Thank you for coming." "We saw the alien ships," said Park, putting down his bag. "The whole world is talking about nothing else." Kim nodded. "The world leaders accepted the Galactic Council's offer yesterday. We are now under their protection." "You don't look happy about it," said Lee, studying Kim's face. "I'm not," Kim replied. He pressed a button, and a screen on the wall showed a video. This was recorded by a spy satellite last night. The screen showed 3 smaller alien ships landing in the African desert. Machines came out and began digging into the ground. "They're taking rare minerals," said Kim. "Without asking, without paying." Choi stepped closer to the screen. "The Council said they wanted our natural resources. Yes, but they didn't say they would start taking them right away, Kim said. And look at this. He changed the video. Now it showed alien ships landing in the ocean, dropping large machines into the deep water. They're not just taking metals, said Kang. What are they doing in the water? The door opened, and Dr. Yoon Sumai walked in. She carried a tablet computer and looked worried. They're scanning for something, she said. I've been analyzing their technology. The ocean machines are searching for something specific. Do we know what? Asked Park. Sumai shook her head. Not yet, but I don't think it's good for us. Kim turned off the screen. The world governments are excited about alien technology. The Council promised to give us faster ships, better medicine, new energy sources, but I think they're hiding something. What can we do? Asked Lee. We're just 5 people against an alien fleet. 6, said Sumai. I'm helping too. Kim smiled at her, then turned serious again. We need to know more. We need to find out what the Council really wants. Just then, all their phones made a loud noise. Emergency alert. They checked the message. All over the world, the Galactic Council was making a new announcement. On the main screen, Ambassador Dex appeared again. His face looked less friendly now. People of Earth, he said, the Galactic Council has reviewed your planet's situation. We have decided that your current governments are too divided to work with us effectively. From now on, the Council will establish direct control over all major Earth resources. Any resistance will result in serious consequences. The room went silent. Then Park Ji-ho spoke. So much for protection, he said. They gave us an ultimatum, said Choi. Join them or face consequences. Kim looked at each member of his team. I was afraid of this. The Council doesn't see us as equals. They see us as a resource to use. What's the plan, Commander? Asked Lee. Kim walked to Park's bag and pulled out a map of the solar system. First, we need a base they don't know about. I've been working on something on the far side of the moon. A place where we can train and prepare. Prepare for what? Asked Kang. Kim looked up, his eyes hard and determined. To show the Galactic Council that they picked the wrong planet to bully. They might have better ships and weapons, but they've never faced Navy SEALs before. Sumai stepped forward. I can help with technology. I've been studying their systems. Good, said Kim. Because in 3 days, we're going to the moon. And we're going to start learning how to fight back. 2 months after meeting the Moran, Kim Tae-ho stood in the largest room of the Phoenix base. Around him were 30 Moran fighters and his SEAL team. On the wall, a map showed 3 Council outposts near Saturn. Today we hit all 3 at once, said Kim. The Council still thinks they're fighting a small group of humans. They don't know about our alliance with the Moran. Park Ji-ho had spent weeks teaching the Moran how to use weapons. Remember your training, he told them. Stay low, move fast, and never stop. Lee Sung pointed to the map. Team 1 will attack the fuel station. Team 2 takes the communication center. Team 3 hits the supply depot. The Moran commander, Rai, stood beside Kim. In the past months, they had become friends and allies. My people are ready, Rai said. We will not fail. As the teams boarded their ships, Dr. Yoon Sumai approached Kim. I have something for you, she said, handing him a small device. This will let you hack directly into their main computer system. Choi will know what to do with it. Kim nodded. Thank you, Sumai. He wanted to say more, but there was no time. The future of 2 species depended on today's mission. The 3 ships left the moon base, each heading to a different target. Kim led Team 1 toward the fuel station, the most important target. With him were Choi Han, 10 Miran fighters, and Rai. Council ships approaching, said Choi, watching the sensors. They don't see us yet. Kim activated the stealth system Sumai had improved. Let's keep it that way until we're inside. Their ship docked at the fuel station. The team moved quickly inside. using the tactics they had practiced for weeks. The Moran knew the station layout perfectly, having worked there before. They reached the main control room without being seen. 2 council officers were inside, monitoring the systems. "Now," said Kim. Park fired his special weapon. The officers fell before they could sound an alarm. Choi ran to the main computer and connected Suma's device. "I'm in their system," he said, his fingers moving quickly. "I can access everything, not just this station, but their entire network." Suddenly, alarms began to sound. On the screens around them, they saw Council security forces rushing toward the control room. "Defend this position," ordered Kim. "Choi needs time." The Moran fighters took positions at the doors. When Council guards appeared, the Moran fought with surprising skill. They were smaller than the Council aliens but moved faster and worked together perfectly. "I found something," said Choi, his eyes wide with surprise. "Their assessment of Earth forces. You need to see this." On the main screen appeared a Council military report. It showed images of Earth's armies, ships, and weapons. Next to each image was a rating: primitive, ineffective, no threat. At the bottom of the report was a note: humans rely on simple weapons and outdated tactics. Their physical weakness and technological limitations make them easy to control. "They still don't understand us," said Kim. But then the screen changed. A new report appeared, dated just 3 days ago. The title read, "Unknown Threat Analysis." This report showed images of the destroyed Mars base and other damaged Council facilities. It described small teams using unconventional methods and primitive weapons modified to penetrate advanced shields. The final paragraph made Kim smile. "These attackers show unusual tactical thinking and adaptability not previously observed in primitive species. They do not fight according to predictable patterns. They exploit weaknesses we did not know existed. Recommend immediate reassessment of human military capabilities. They're finally figuring it out," said Choi. At that moment, the largest screen in the room lit up. The face of General Vrock appeared. He looked directly at the camera as if he could see them. "To the humans attacking our facilities," he said, his voice angry but controlled, "we have underestimated you. This was a mistake, but it is one we will not repeat. The full force of the Galactic Council will now focus on finding and destroying you." Kim stepped forward, facing the screen. "Tell your council that humans will never surrender. Tell them that the more they push us, the harder we will fight back." For the first time, the mighty Galactic Council realized they might have chosen the wrong planet to conquer. 3 days after capturing the command ship, Kim Taho stood on the bridge. Behind him were his SEAL team, Commander Rai of the Moran, and Dr. Yoon Sumai. In front of them, on the main screen, was the face of the Supreme Leader of the Galactic Council. The Supreme Leader was larger than other Council aliens, with 6 eyes instead of 4 and skin that glowed slightly blue. When he spoke, his voice rumbled like distant thunder. "You have taken one of our ships," he said. "This is unexpected, but it changes nothing. We have thousands more." Kim stepped forward. "We don't want to fight your entire empire. We want to talk. Primitives do not talk. They obey." "That's your first mistake," said Kim, "thinking we're just primitives. Your second mistake was thinking technology alone wins wars." He nodded to Choi Han, who pressed some buttons. On a smaller screen appeared images of Council ships exploding, bases burning, and Moran fighters working alongside humans. "While you were searching for our fleet, we were planting explosives on 30 more of your ships," said Kim. "We can destroy them with one signal." The Supreme Leader's eyes narrowed. "You would not survive our response." "Maybe not," agreed Kim. "But neither would your mining operations, your fuel stations, or your communication network. We've placed bombs throughout your system. This isn't a battle you can win with bigger ships or stronger weapons." For a long moment, the Supreme Leader was silent. Then he asked, "What do you want?" "Earth remains free. The Moran get their planet back, and all other enslaved species are released." Impossible. The Council has ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. Kim looked at his team. These men had followed him into impossible situations before. They had never failed. Then the Council will fall, said Kim simply, because we will not stop fighting. You can destroy some of us, maybe even most of us, but some will always survive. And they will keep fighting, keep adapting, keep finding your weaknesses. The Supreme Leader's voice became curious. How can you be so certain? Because that's what humans do. That's what CLs are trained for, to keep going when normal soldiers would quit, to find a way when there seems to be none. Park Ji-ho stepped forward. You studied our weapons but not our history. Humans have fought wars against enemies with better technology before. We still won. Lee Sung added, you thought numbers and technology determine victory, but will, determination, and adaptability matter more. The Supreme Leader studied them carefully. Finally, he spoke. I wish to meet these SEALs in person. Come to the Council homeworld. We will discuss terms. 1 month later, Kim stood in the Great Hall of the Galactic Council. The room was filled with representatives from 100 different species. The Supreme Leader sat on a high chair, looking down at the small human before him. For 10,000 years, the Council has believed that advanced technology made us superior, said the Supreme Leader, his voice carrying to every corner of the hall. The humans have shown us this was wrong. He stood up, towering over everyone. Today, we sign a new treaty. Earth will remain free. The Moran homeworld will be returned to them, and all species in Council space will have equal rights. As Kim signed the treaty, the Supreme Leader leaned down and asked quietly, these SEALs, there must be millions of them for you to be so confident. Kim smiled. No, there were only a few thousand of us, ever, but one SEAL can change the course of a battle. 5 of them, working together, can change the course of a war. The Supreme Leader looked confused. How could your leaders risk everything on so few? Because they knew what you didn't, said Kim. It's not about the size of the army. It's about the quality of the warrior. As Kim left the hall with his team, aliens from many worlds watched them pass. The story had spread throughout the galaxy, how 5 humans and their allies had defeated the mighty Galactic Council, how the Council had mocked a tiny army until they realized it had former Navy SEALs. And Kim knew that across the stars, the lesson would be remembered. Never underestimate humans, especially those trained to achieve the impossible. 1 week after the attacks on the Saturn outposts, everything changed. The Galactic Council sent their main battle fleet to the solar system. 50 massive warships appeared near Earth's moon, their weapons ready. In the Phoenix base, Kim Tae-ho and his team watched the fleet on their screens. The mood was dark. They had won many small battles, but this was different. There are too many ships, said Lee Sung, always the tactical expert. We can't fight them all. Kim studied the fleet formation. Years of SEAL training had taught him to look for patterns, to find weaknesses even in the strongest enemy. We don't need to fight them all, he said finally. We just need to fight one. The command ship. Park Ji-ho pointed to the largest ship at the center of the fleet. That one. It's 10 times bigger than anything we've faced before. That's why they won't expect us to attack it, said Kim. Dr. Yoon Soo-mai entered the room carrying a small metal box. I've been studying the alien we captured, Tark. I found something important about Council biology. Everyone turned to listen. Soo-mai opened the box to show a small device inside. Their nervous systems react strongly to certain sound frequencies, she explained. This device produces those sounds. It won't kill them, but it will stun them for several minutes. Kang Min, who had been quiet, suddenly spoke. I can modify it to affect only Council species, not humans or Moran. How many can you make? Asked Kim. 10, maybe 15 with the materials we have, said Sume. Kim nodded. Good, because I have a plan. 2 days later, 3 small ships flew toward the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. Council scouts followed them. They took the bait, said Choi Han, watching the sensors. The council ships are following our decoys. The real mission was happening elsewhere. Kim, Park, and 20 Miran fighters were floating in space near the council command ship. They wore special suits that hid them from sensors. Slowly, they moved toward the huge ship. "Remember your underwater training," Kim told his team through the radio. "Treat space like deep ocean. Same basic principles." As Navy SEALs, they had trained for years to operate underwater. Space was different, but they adapted quickly. The Miran followed their lead, moving silently toward the ship. When they reached the hull, they used tools Sumai had designed to cut through the metal. One by one, they entered the massive ship. Inside, they split into 3 groups. Kim led his group toward the bridge where the fleet commanders would be. Hark took his group to the engine room. The Moran team headed for the weapons control center. "Use the sound devices only when you have to," Kim reminded them. "Surprise is our best weapon." As they moved through the ship, they passed dozens of council aliens. The ship was so big that the aliens didn't notice the small intruders moving through maintenance tunnels and air ducts. Kim's group reached the bridge first. Through a small window, they could see 10 council officers, including General Vrock himself. The general was shouting at a hologram of another alien. "Find those humans. The Supreme Leader wants them destroyed before they cause more trouble." Kim gave the signal. His team attached Sumi's sound devices to the walls around the bridge. When they activated them, a high-pitched noise filled the room. The council aliens fell to the floor, holding their heads in pain. Kim's team rushed in, quickly tying up the stunned aliens. General Vrock looked up at Kim with hatred in his 4 eyes. How did you get on this ship? Our sensors would have detected you." "Your sensors are designed to find ships and weapons," said Kim, "not people who know how to move without being seen." The general's confusion was clear. "But you're just primitive humans." Kim smiled slightly. "That's where you're wrong. We're not just humans. We're Navy SEALs, and SEALs can operate anywhere: land, sea, air, or space." At that moment, Hark's voice came through the radio. "Engine room secured." Then the Moran commander spoke. "Weapons control is ours." Kim looked down at General Vrock. "Your fleet is now under our control, and you're going to help us send a message to your Supreme Leader." For the first time, fear showed in the general's eyes. The Galactic Council had made a fatal mistake. They had judged humans by their technology, not by their determination, ingenuity, or skill. 3 days after their mission to the command ship, Kim Tae-ho and his team flew toward Mars. The Red Planet had become a major mining center for the Galactic Council. Huge machines dug into the surface, taking resources and sending them to council ships. "There it is," said Lee Sung, pointing to a large base on the Martian surface, the main control center for their mining operation. Their small ship landed behind a hill, out of sight from the alien base. The team put on their spacesuits, which Sumai had improved with alien technology. "Remember," said Kim as they checked their weapons, "this isn't just about stopping one mining operation. This is about showing the Council that humans can fight back." They moved across the red soil, staying low. Park Ji-ho carried a special weapon he had built himself. It combined Earth gun parts with alien energy technology. "Their shields are designed to stop energy weapons," Park said with a smile. "Not good old-fashioned bullets combined with energy pulses." When they reached the base perimeter, Choi Han connected his computer to a small panel. Using the data they had stolen, he bypassed the security system. The door slid open. Inside, alien workers moved large containers. They were different from the council guards, smaller, with 6 legs and green skin. "Those must be the worker species Sumai told us about," whispered Kang Min. "The Moran. They're forced to work for the council too." "Then we don't hurt them," said Kim. "Our target is the main control room." They moved through the base using air ducts and maintenance tunnels. The aliens have built everything for their large size, not thinking that smaller beings could use these spaces. When they reached the control room, 4 council officers were inside, watching screens that showed the mining operations. "Ready?" asked Kim. His team nodded. They burst into the room from different doors. Before the aliens could react, Park fired his special weapon. The bullets passed right through the aliens' personal shields, surprising them completely. 2 aliens fell. A third reached for an alarm, but Lee Sung threw a small device that stuck to the wall and sent out electrical pulses. All the systems in the room went dark. The last alien grabbed a weapon, but Kim moved faster. Years of SEAL training had made him quick and deadly. He jumped on the alien's back and pressed a knife to its throat. "Tell your workers to evacuate," Kim said, showing the alien a translator device. Now, the alien spoke into a communication system. Soon, they heard the Moran workers leaving the base. "Plant the charges," Kim ordered. His team placed explosives around the control room and main mining equipment. They were special bombs that Sumai had designed to create maximum damage. 5 minutes until detonation," said Choi, setting the timer. They left the control room, taking their alien prisoner with them. As they moved through the base, Kang Min noticed something strange. The Moran workers were not running away in fear. They were watching the humans with what looked like hope in their many eyes. Outside, they reached their ship just as the explosions began. The ground shook. The mining base collapsed in flames and smoke that rose high in the thin Martian air. Their ship took off, flying away from Mars as Council alarm signals filled the radio channels. "The Council is sending ships from Earth," said Choi, listening to their communications. "They sound confused. They keep asking who attacked them." Kim looked at the alien prisoner sitting quietly in the corner of their ship. "Tell your leaders that humans did this. Tell them we will not be relocated. Tell them we will fight." The alien stared at Kim with its 4 eyes. "Your weapons are primitive. Your technology is simple. How did you defeat our shields?" Park Ji-ho smiled. "We adapted. That's what Navy SEALs do. We see a problem. We solve it." As they flew back to their moon base, Lee Sung checked the data they had collected. "The mining operation will be stopped for weeks. We've bought time for millions of people." Kim nodded. "This is just the beginning. The Council thinks we're primitives who can't fight back. They're about to learn how wrong they are."